Greetings, CBC. Welcome to this week's Sunday warm-up. Let me just quickly remind us that as you're coming into the church, anytime that you're here, certainly on Sunday mornings, pay attention to the tables there as you're grabbing the sermon notes. Go ahead and get a copy of those sermon notes when you come in. Look at the different tables for announcements, information sheets, sign-up sheets, notes about things that are coming up. There's a lot that happens here in December. I mean, really every week, every month, there's always quite a bit happening. But December, there's some extra things. So pay attention to the different events that are coming up, the bulletin boards that are there right outside the bathroom. There's always lots of information that are available to you. And if you're not on the email list, sign up on that email list so that you can get weekly reminders every Thursday, every Sunday. There'll be emails that are sent out with all different kinds of information that's happening here around the church. Lastly, let me just note for you, Christmas Eve, we will have two services, 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So there'll be a 5 o'clock service, there'll be a 7 o'clock service, they'll be pretty much exactly the same. Just want to make that available to create some space in the room and give you some options if you've got some family things happening that night. So this week now, Matthew chapter 2, 1 to 12. Our text for this week is Matthew chapter 2, 1 to 12. For preparation, certainly read those 12 verses, read the surrounding verses, go back and read Matthew 1 that we read this past week, take a look at each day, maybe spread up just a paragraph or so of readings. It doesn't have to be long and lengthy, but give you some time to really just think about the text that we're looking at and that surrounding context, all about the birth of Christ. So Matthew chapter 2, 1 to 12 will be the main text for us this week. Now it's interesting, a couple of things here. This is where the wise men came to the king, King Herod, and they told him that they were looking for the king of the Jews. Very interesting, and we're going to talk about just what that dynamic had to have been like. And Herod then, startled, assembles the religious leaders, the priests, the scribes, those that should have been in the know, and he asks them to inquire about where the king of the Jews was to be born. Well, they look back within Scripture and they find. So we want to look at that passage as well. Micah chapter 5, verses 2 to 5. Micah chapter 5, verses 2 to 5. And I want to add in there, just because I want to talk a little bit about this, about how, to me, one of the most startling things here is that those that should have known didn't know. But Jeremiah and the prophet, his words there as the prophet tells us that these things were going on then in the Old Testament. They were obviously going on in the New Testament, and unfortunately, they're still going on today, where those who should know don't know. So take a look at Jeremiah chapter 2, verses 4 to 8. Now, Herod does it for false reasons, but his challenge is something that we want to challenge ourselves with, certainly this week as we're warming up. It'll be a part of the message. It's part of the text for this week. And it's a part of, I think, our continual challenge as we go forward and maybe thinking about going into another new year. And it's his words to the wise men. Go and make a careful search. This week, as we're warming up, make a careful search. Take a look at the text. Read the passages. Again, split it up into just small little sections, little paragraphs. Allow that to just marinate in our lives, in our hearts, in our heads, each day, all week. Even the same 12 verses, every day, all week. Take some notes on it. What stands out to you? What comes to mind as you're driving and meditating upon the passage, as you're thinking about it, as you're reading it and rereading it again? Read it in different translations. And then come on Sunday morning. I wonder if we all took that kind of work seriously in preparation for Sunday morning, how it might affect differently and more powerfully for us what we get out of on our Sunday morning time of worship together. So that's it for this week. Not a lot of passages, not a lot of verses before us. Take some time with it. Be prayerful about it. You're in my prayers. Looking forward to being with you again here this Sunday morning. God bless you.